Hey everyone, it's Mark with the Fabric Hut, and we are back with day 6 of our 12 Days of Christmas video series. That's right, we are 7 days now away from Christmas. How exciting is that? So if you're new here, every day on the 12 Days of Christmas, we're counting down with a new short video every single day. These videos include products, some information, new products that you might be interested in, great gift giving ideas, projects that you can complete, and just overall just quilting information of value, and then of course some promotions as they pop up. So without further ado, we're going to get started here. I want you to take a look behind me. You see what that is? That is Peppermint Poinsettia, and that is a kit that was released about a month and a half ago. It sold out super fast. We had a ton of these kits and they went so fast. I have a large waiting list for that, but I do have these kits in stock and ready to ship right now. Those folks have been notified and offered the opportunity to buy them. But once we sell out of this one, we won't have it for a while. This fabric's been a little bit hard to get at the tail end of the year, but I have ample numbers in stock. So if you're interested or you've been waiting for Peppermint Poinsettia to come back, I mean, look at that beautiful Irish chain theme. You've got the peppermint center inside of that star that looks like a poinsettia. Reds and greens, vibrant with that white background. Super cool. This kit is ready to go. Remember, all of your kits come with all the material pre-cut and ready to sew. No cutting required to get started. And then you got your binding, and then your backing fabric is also included for all one price. Comes to you in a nice big package, and you open it up and are ready to go. So that's really cool. So I'm super excited about that being in stock right now. And then be sure to come back on Saturday for sure. For Saturday's video, I am going to release some new products to the Fabric Hut, things that we haven't carried in this style before. And I think you'll be interested in seeing some of these new products as well. So what I'm going to do now is I want to talk a little bit about fabric, and especially the fabric that we use, because as we all know, fabric is not created equal. There are varying degrees of quality. There are varying degrees of content, process, from anything from just straight value cotton that you might get at one of the craft stores to high-end cotton at your local quilt shop. We can also talk a little bit about, we'll talk a little bit about batiks and what makes them a little bit different. And then we also know that we have flannel and fleece and other things. Now, we don't currently carry fleece or flannel, but we can talk a little bit about those as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a pause here, and then I'm going to flip the camera around. I'm going to show you some fabric, and we're going to talk about some of the details. Okay, now that we've got the camera turned around and we're looking at the bench here, it's going to be really hard to really show the difference on camera because it's really hard to see from a digital perspective. But over here on the right, I have some fabrics that are basically crafter quality fabric, and it's really hard to see. But one of the things you'll notice when you're looking at a crafter or a low, what I call a low grade, a low hand bit of fabric, is you're going to see very distinct lines in the fabric. You're going to see where the threads are running. You're going to see a little bit of distortion in there. You're going to see the grain very particular. And in particular, you're going to see where the grain pops every half inch or so in one area or another. You'll see one series of grains be very more pronounced, I guess you'd say. And so this would be an example of that. This here is our brand. It has a great feel and it's very smooth. And even when you look at them here from the back, and again, it's probably hard to see, but we can see the grain here. At least if I can get just a little closer. Do you see that variance there in the grain? You can see that there's some lines there on the back. When you have a good quality back and a good quality piece of material, you don't have those grains as pronounced. And that's a big part of the selection process. And so when we're looking at pre-cuts that we make for ourselves, we are always looking at the quality, the basic base material before we have them produced. So you can see here we've got Snowman and Snowflake, and then our very popular Urban Liberty collection here. If you haven't seen those, check those out. Now here we see Figo, and Figo is from Northcott, and our Northcott fabric is one of the reasons why I think our kits are so great. The fabric is great, the texture, the feel, is awesome. And every single kit goes through the same process with us. So for example, this is fabric that's not even available in stores. This is going to be in a future kit release here in January, and it is here ready to go, and it's a great one. But we will touch and feel and see this before the fabric even leaves the mill. We'll have this in our hands, and we'll know that we have a good quality base material. And that's a big part of what we do. But Northcott Figo, our relationship with them was really not by accident. We went to find the best quality fabric that we could get. It's not about the lowest price or how do we get and make more money, right? It's about making sure that what we sell you has value for the long haul, that will be quality and will last. Over here on the right, we see I've been showing you a lot of um, Because of the Brave, one of our latest releases. So there's a couple things I want to point out here. We have three different types of fabrics. Here we have a textured fabric here called Crackle. And then we have a digitally printed fabric from Northcott in the America 250. This is the flag fabric that's in the Because of the Brave. And then we have the solids. So when you think of solids, this is your basic color wall solids, the dye stuff that's really quality. Got a little crease there, but that's just coming out of a package from the warehouse to me. And so there's different layers and versions of those, and we have all of that set up. Here's canvas here as well, which is one of our staples in a couple of our kits. And when you feel this, you just have it feel better than a lot of other fabrics out there. And that's why we chose Northcott. Okay, I'm going to flip the camera around and we'll move on. Okay, and so now that I've got this turned back around, I don't want to bore you with a lot of details here, but the whole idea behind this video is to really talk about the fact that your fabric selection, the fabric that comes in your kit, is decided with a lot of care and intentionality. When I'm touching fabric and I'm evaluating potential vendors, I'm always looking at what is the thread count, what is the GSM, which is the grams per meter count, and then what does it feel like? So when I compare two different kinds of fabric, whether it be from one vendor to another, I at least know, and using years of experience, I know when I have a good piece of fabric in my hand and when I do not. And everybody's going to be a little bit different on their preferences, but I think overall, with our relationship with Northcott, Figo, Patrick Lose, Banyan Batiks, which is a batik version, I can't wait to release a new batik kit to you, our first one ever, earlier in 2026. We've got that planned. But all of these, Anna Marie Textiles is another one. All of these fabrics are chosen because of the quality and the reliability that we have with established high quality vendors. And you may have your favorite out there. There's a lot of great vendors out there, but as we find those great vendors and establish those relationships, maybe those will also end up in kits. But right now, we're really happy with the kits that we're producing and the fabric that's included. So with that, I'm going to wrap this video up. I typically like to keep this under 10 minutes for you. Again, reminder that the Peppermint Poinsettia is in stock. It is available to ship as of today. If you want one, this is the time to grab it. So please run over and grab it before they do sell out. I have no doubt that we will not have those on Christmas Eve. I can guarantee those will be gone by Christmas Eve. It's just that popular. Okay, so with that, look forward to seeing you again tomorrow, and keep on crafting, keep on sewing if you've got those projects that need to be done, and we'll see you on the next one.